how much to spend on digital ads. We cover that and more in this video. Times are definitely tougher now, but I believe that when the going gets tough, the tough definitely get going. Many people are taking this time to cover and retreat at home, especially businesses. But if you're here, that means that you are here looking to do the opposite. You are fighting for your business. You are trying to find out how to push forward during this time. And one of the best ways to do that is to advertise, and especially digitally. Now more than ever, people are on their devices and looking on social media. So if you're a business trying to be creative, trying to think about how do I reach my audience, how do I get my word out there, the answer should be a little bit obvious right now. It's one simple question: where are their eyeballs? Where is the attention? It's on their devices, right? So you should be getting directly in front of them, and the way you do that is through digital advertising. But the big question is, how much do I spend on digital ads? Well, today I want to talk to you about ad spend. How much to spend on ads to get your name out there while your competition sits back and does nothing. So how much do you spend on ad spend? Well, it should be pretty obvious, as much as you can, correct? But if you are just starting out and if you just want to test digital advertising, where do you start? Well, here are 3 tips to help you out. Tip number 1 is to go in cold turkey and start with at least $5 a day. That's right, you could run advertising on social media, Facebook, Instagram, for at least $5 a day, you guys. $5 a day to just start testing your audience. So my suggestion is, if you have a brand new Facebook ad account with a brand new pixel, if you're just starting this out, all I ask you to do is to put $5 a day to start testing your audience and to start driving traffic to your website at this moment. All you're doing during this time is just collecting data, just sending small amounts of traffic to your website and collecting data, letting the Facebook pixel absorb that data at this moment. By putting out an ad with certain detailed targeting, you can see the demographics of the people that are actually clicking on the link and heading to your website. This data now becomes very valuable to you. When you start doing what are called retargeting ads and sending out ads again, you can now grab the data and say, okay, who clicked on my link and who landed on my website and who interacted more? So now what you do is you create another Facebook ad with that targeted audience and a specific audience. Tip number 2 is to focus on your customer acquisition cost. So this is for the more established businesses that know their numbers. And if you don't know your numbers, I suggest that you get on top of that ASAP. And what do I mean by knowing your numbers? For example, do you know the lifetime value or the LTV of your customer? And also, what is your leads to conversion rate? Your LTV is determined by how much your customer will spend with you in their lifetime. For example, the way Starbucks does this is they take the average of their 5 customers, how much they spend in 1 week, and multiply it by 20 years. And that's their lifetime value. But the number we want to focus on is how much your customer or client spends with you in 1 week. By determining and knowing how much your customer spends with you in 1 week, it'll help you create the budget for your monthly marketing or digital ad spend. So let's use an example. Let's say you sell tacos for a living, and your recurring customer buys at least $10 worth of tacos from you every single week. So the $10, that's the number we need to focus on right now, the $10. Now the next thing you need to focus on is your leads to conversion rate. For example, if you currently get leads, you have to determine how you're getting leads. And out of those leads, how many of those people actually become a customer? So if I were to give you 5 leads, for example, but out of every 5 leads, 1 becomes a customer, that now becomes your ratio for your leads to customer rate. That means that 1 out of every 5 leads becomes a customer. So now all you do is simply start plugging in the numbers, and that'll give you your budget. And here's how it goes. So if it takes you 5 leads to get 1 customer, we go back to that $10 and we divide $10 by 5. Your acquisition cost is now $2 per lead. So in another sense, and I'll put up right here how that formula looks, but all it is determining how much your recurring customer spends a week, finding out your lead to conversion rate, and doing this simple math right here. If you have those $10 per customer that you get about every week, and you know it takes about 5 leads to get 1 customer, now you do 10 divided by 5, which is $2 per lead. Now all you do is that $2 becomes your lead focal. Now we focus on those $2. Now you have to ask yourself, how many people do I want to get through my door every week? Realistically, okay? Now the big word here is realistically, okay? Because we don't want to, I want everyone to come in. Does your little shop actually fit 1,000 people? Probably not, okay? So now we can do the numbers. How many customers or clients do you need to walk into your shop every single day? Now if you say, okay, well I want 100, it's just an example. I want 100 people to walk in my shop. Now you focus, well, $2 times 100, that now becomes the number you use for your ads. Tip number 3 is to use what Harvard Business School put out. It's an info that they put out a few years ago. To use the 7 to 15% of your revenue to use it back into marketing or to digital advertising. Even if you have a small revenue, you can still use this principle. So it works for any business to take your revenue and to reinvest 7 to 15%. So for example, if you make $100,000 a year, it would be wise to put anything from $7,000 to $15,000 back into your business for marketing purposes or advertising purposes. Or if you're making $1 million a year or $1 million of revenue, it would be wise to put anything from $70,000 to $150,000 back into your business for marketing and advertising. But obviously, the more money, the merrier, of course. So those are your 3 tips, you guys. One is to focus on maybe starting out with $5 a day, testing the waters and seeing the numbers of the people you could reach. This is a great way to start out. 2 would be figuring out your the value of your customer and how much they spend a week, and then doing the formula to see how much you need to spend per customer acquisition. 3rd would be a simple method of just using 7 to 15% of your revenue and putting it back into marketing and advertising. Now you guys, these are just 3 tips. These are 3 ways of doing it. There are many ways that you could figure that out. But remember, you could spend all this money on advertising, but without the right ads, the right creative, the right website, and even going down to your team with the right closing skills, it would just be like burning cash. It's a collective effort, and I encourage you to get started. Right now, you guys, is not the time to retreat. Right now is not the time to surrender. Right now is not the time to stop your advertising. I was on a live video conference last night with a huge e-commerce business, and they suggest that during times like this is where you push out ads even more, because you have to get in front of your audience. You have to get in front of your eyeballs and let them know, hey, we're still here. We still exist, and provide as much value as you can, that when we get over this situation that we're in with this pandemic, and we will get over it, once we're over it, you've already positioned yourself for success and hopefully have gotten a few sales during the time and will continue to get sales thereafter. All right, you guys, I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, please visit 7effects.com or send us a message. We'll be happy to help with any of your marketing efforts if you're a small business. Thank you for watching, and until next time.